Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures, gold, and cryptos are all trading lower right now. We do have a lot of numbers coming out in the pre-market this morning, and an hour ago, stock index futures were the opposite of where they are right now. So we are seeing some pre-market volatility while we're waiting for all of those numbers to come out on Wednesday morning. Well, yesterday morning in the pre-market, I wasn't overly concerned about the numbers coming out. We had international trade coming out at 8:30, which is ranked a high, but then we had at 10 a.m. we had the JOLTS job openings coming out and the ISM services index coming out. They're both ranked a medium, but yesterday they were ranked an extra high as the market overreacted to those numbers. Now, we did see bonds continue to move lower. So there's the TLT, which a lot of people follow. There's the 30-year bond that I follow closely. And there's the bond yields moving up sharply yesterday, making a new high for this move. So that spooked the market. Now, this morning, we do have a lot of numbers coming out, and we have ADP employment numbers coming out at 8:15. Then we have jobless claims coming out at 8:30, and they often can help affect the direction of the market. Now, while bond traders in Chicago were selling on Tuesday, it was options traders in Chicago were doing some buying. The VIX moved up yesterday, still looking for a close on Wednesday above 1856 for the S&P 500 VIX. For the Nasdaq VIX, we are back on a buy signal. Didn't take out the recent high, so that could happen today. And then looking at the VIX for the Russell, we are still on a sell signal here. No change in trend there. Now, yesterday at this time, we were looking at what worked on Monday, and it was all chips, it was all technology. That completely reversed on Tuesday, with the technology sectors leading the market lower. You can see it was the iShares for the Canadian technology sector was the biggest loser, followed by Magnificent Seven, semiconductors, cloud computing, and the list goes on. And the NASDAQ 100 was pretty close to the worst performing area of the market on Tuesday. Now, NVIDIA, which gapped higher on Monday, completely reversed and plunged lower on Tuesday. We're looking for a close on Wednesday below $136.80. Now, thank goodness we took money off the table at 150 as we saw a huge sell-off yesterday. And then looking at what else didn't work, well, it was the Canadian technology sector was the big loser, so no change in trend there. Then looking at the Magnificent Seven ETF, we're still looking for a close on Wednesday below $55.05. Then there is the semiconductors looking very much like NVIDIA on Tuesday. Looking at the cloud computing ETF, it's still on a sell signal, no change in trend there. Then looking at the Shopify in Toronto, we rolled over yesterday after generating a buy signal on Monday. Now we're back on a sell signal as of Tuesday's close. That's unfortunate. There's Constellation Software continuing its move lower, so no change in trend there. Then looking at Tesla, Tesla still on a sell signal, did not make a new low for this move on Tuesday. Next up, let's take a look at those major index ETFs, starting off with the iShares for the TSX 60. We traded down into the channel yesterday, looking for a close on Wednesday below $37.51. Still no change in trend for the Dow or the S&P 500. It traded through the upper channel line on Monday and Tuesday, did not close above it. It was down over 1% on the day. No joy for the equal-weighted S&P 500. Unfortunately, the NASDAQ 100 is back on a sell signal. The equal-weighted NASDAQ traded down to the lower channel line yesterday, did not close below it. Looking for a close on Wednesday below $125.99. The next generation NASDAQ stocks holding up a little better. The Russell 2000 still on a sell signal, small caps still on a sell signal, micro caps still on a buy signal. That would change with a close below $130.11 on Wednesday. Consumer staples continue to move lower on Tuesday on both sides of the border. Then we had the real estate sector. Of course, it's going to be affected by higher interest rates. It was down 0.75% in the U.S. yesterday. In Canada, it was down 0.68%, so a little less than in the U.S. And then there's financials on both sides of the border, still on a sell signal, no change in trend for financials. Now, one of the other big winners on Monday was Bitcoin, and Bitcoin got up over $100,000, but lost all that on Tuesday and then some. The futures contract down over 6%. All the major Bitcoin-related ETFs pulling back. The bear ETFs moving up. And so if we get continuation to the downside, we may be short Bitcoin once again this week. Now, looking at the Bitcoin-related stocks, we've got a couple that could roll over on Wednesday. There's Bitfarms trading right down to the lower channel line on Tuesday, so a close below yesterday's low would give us a sell signal. There's Bit Digital holding up a bit better. There is Coinbase sitting right on the edge of a new daily sell signal. A close on Wednesday below $263.12 would get us back on a sell signal. There's Galaxy holding up a little better. There's another stock that could roll over and generate a sell signal on Wednesday with a close below yesterday's low. There's Hut 8 holding up a bit better at the upper channel line. Then looking at Mara trading back in the channel yesterday, a close below 1856 would give us a sell signal on Wednesday. And MicroStrategy had an inside day on Tuesday, a close below $320.07 would give us a new daily sell signal on Wednesday. Let's finish off this morning's presentation taking a look at major commodity ETFs, starting off with crude oil. Crude oil had an inside day on Tuesday. We're still trying to break out above the October high, stuck here at 78.13. If we can take out Monday's high, then 81.25 would certainly come into play, with the possibility of psychological resistance at $80. Gasoline had a very quiet trading day on Tuesday. Big day on Monday, still did not take out the October high. Natural gas, unfortunately, did take out the October high last week and then has been pulling back ever since. Looking for a close on Wednesday below $15.90. Then looking at energy stocks, and remember, energy inventories come out after the market opens this morning. They could certainly change the direction of these stocks. But there's our Canadian energy sector moving up 1.7% yesterday, hitting our next price target. So cha-ching, if you had an order in up there at the 17.97 level, it got filled yesterday. We got as high as 17.99. So $18 acting as resistance. U.S. energy stocks were up 1% yesterday as well. Then looking at the metals, copper was up yesterday. Copper miners traded back into the channel, so a close below 38.76 on Wednesday would give us a sell signal. There's GLD still on a buy signal, looking to see if we can take out last week's high. We've got gold stocks still on a buy signal here. There's the GDX, the Junior Gold Miners, and the TSX Global Gold ETF, all still on buy signals coming into Wednesday's trading action. Silver moved up yesterday. It's still on a buy signal. Unfortunately, silver miners and junior silver miners are still on a sell signal. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. At this time, we've got stock index futures, gold, and Bitcoin trading lower, but we do have a lot of numbers coming out before the market opens. We do have the U.S. market closed on Thursday. The Canadian markets will be open. I'll be back on Thursday morning to take a closer look at the Canadian market. Have a great day, and of course, next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.